That is right, Maria. Just today, we learned 57 more criminal cases were dismissed in Suffolk County because there are no attorneys to defend those suspects.
Boston, the Protecting Our Immigrant Communities campaign, is celebrating the passage of $5 million in fiscal year 2026 state budget to help provide legal representation to immigrants at risk of deportation.
A Boston police cruiser repeatedly hit with fireworks and set on fire. Investigators say dozens of people were involved overnight in what they're calling a targeted attack.
And we're back, y'all. Thank you for watching today. Go ahead and hit that like button, my people. You know that it helps us out a ton. And of course, it helps you because it helps us keep bringing you these stories every day. Now, y'all, today we're going to be following up on a previous story where your girl, Michelle Wu, in the fabulous city of Boston, that is in the state of Massachusetts, in case you didn't know. And they're over there letting criminals go free, y'all, because they do not want to pay the public defenders what they're worth. So at this point, hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of criminals are going free. Now, this is not getting out of jail. I mean, they might be detained right now, but they haven't been sentenced. So it's not like they served some time and now, okay, well, we're going to let you go free. No, this is, you're not even going to trial. Why not? Because constitutionally, we have to provide you with a public defender. The public defenders are saying, hey, we should be earning this amount of money. Massachusetts is like, we're going to pay you far less than that amount of money. So the public defenders, these are people who are contracted by the state to represent people accused of crimes. Those people are like, we're not working for that, yo. So we're going on strike. We're just not going to take the cases. So the judge is like, well, if you don't have a public defender, I'm going to have to let you go. Again, this is not you're in jail, you've been sentenced, we're going to reduce your time. No, this is you never even went to trial. We're just going to dismiss your case. So while your girl saying Boston is the safest big city in the country, which is a very debatable and doubtful claim, at the same time, they're letting criminals walk free without even going to trial, y'all. This is crazy. Check this out. But before we do, y'all, make sure you take care of your money. I'm not going to make this a long one, y'all. Go to Paralegold, PARALEGOLD.com or call 844-651-8334, 844-651-8334. If you have $50,000 to $100,000 or more in your retirement, protected from inflation, protected from monetary debasement, you're about to retire. Make sure your money's still there and it's still worth something by investing at least some of it in gold. Talk to our partners at Augusta Precious Metals. Go click the link now, get the free information, and protect your precious retirement.
That is right, Maria. Just today, we learned 57 more criminal cases were dismissed in Suffolk County because there are no attorneys to defend those suspects. And now we know that number is expected to keep growing. This comes on the heels of what the governor's office told us last week, that many bar advocates had returned to work. Those are lawyers who take cases when the defendant can't afford one. She was responding to our reporting last week on a couple who said the man who attacked them in their Dorchester home was released twice because he didn't have a lawyer. But a new court filing shows there's no sign of the crisis letting up. 49% of defense attorney shifts are still unfilled in Boston's municipal courts for this month. 78% are empty in Middlesex County in September. And right now, 74% are empty for next month. Bar advocates stopped taking new cases at the end of May, demanding a pay raise. The governor and state lawmakers approved an increase last month, but not at the level they wanted. Under the court's rules, any defendant who is held for 7 days without counsel must be released. If they go 45 days without a lawyer, the case must be dismissed, at least temporarily. We did reach out to the governor's office tonight for a response, but have not yet heard back. Reporting live in the newsroom tonight, Brittany Johnson, 5 Investigate.
Same time that Massachusetts cannot pay its public defenders to put violent criminals away, or to clear out the people who have been falsely accused. Because let's be honest, some of the people who would go on trial, they would be found not guilty. but they still have that right to an attorney. Massachusetts can't afford, apparently, to pay for these public defenders, but you know what they can pay for? Let's take a look. Check out this press release. Boston, the Protecting Our Immigrant Communities campaign, is celebrating the passage of $5 million in fiscal year 2026 state budget to help provide legal representation to immigrants at risk of deportation. I'm gonna say that again, y'all. They have the money to put aside $5 million for those who are in the country without permission. Now, this is why they can't seem to find all the money they need in order to provide public defenders to people who are accused of crimes, right? But they got an extra $5 million to provide free immigration assistance to people in the country without permission facing deportation. Let's take a look. Quote, today, Massachusetts proudly showed how committed our state is to protecting immigrants and strengthening the right to due process. While leaders in Washington continue their dangerous, baseless attack on immigrants, we thank House Speaker Mariano and Ways and Means Chair Mitchellwitz, I think that's how you pronounce it, as well as Senate President Spilka and Ways and Means Chair Rodriguez, etc., etc. So at the same time that they can't find the money to fund the constitutional right that you have to a public defender when you're accused of a crime, they somehow have money to fund this isn't even a right. You don't have a right to immigration lawyer. You don't have a right to an immigration lawyer to help you fight deportation. Y'all see how this works? Do y'all see how this works? And in the meantime, y'all, does crime happen in the safest big city in America? What do y'all think? Do you think there's any criminal activity happening over there? Well, let's take a look.
A Boston police cruiser repeatedly hit with fireworks and set on fire. Investigators say dozens of people were involved overnight in what they're calling a targeted attack. Good evening, everyone. I'm Ken McLeod. Tonight, 2 people are in custody. And as WBZ's Paul Burton shows us, this wasn't the only incident locally involving a large crowd attacking officers.
Mob of people here, like screaming, banging on the cop cars.
Chaos erupts and people scatter in the streets of Boston as a police cruiser was destroyed by fireworks in what police described as a large-scale vehicle takeover early Sunday morning.
Definitely unsettling to wake up in the middle of the night and see a cop car on fire outside your window.
These BU students took this cell phone video. They live in the apartment above Mass Ave and Tremont Street.
I just saw the cop car on fire and then stuff was blowing up while they were putting it out.
Police say shortly after 2 a.m. they responded to reports of people gathered in cars to take part in illegal street racing and tricks.
As officers approached the scene, they were met by a group, a pretty large group, over 100 people, and some of the individuals in the group started to throw cones, poles, and other objects at the officers in the vehicle.
Police say the cruiser was repeatedly hit with fireworks as officers got out to chase down the suspects. The Boston Fire Department was able to extinguish the burning police cruiser, but it was a total loss.
Everybody started flocking in on the other side, taking videos, pictures. I saw somebody get arrested over here.
We got about 50 to 100, if not more people.
In Randolph, a similar incident took place early Sunday morning. Police say around 1:30, cars blocked off an intersection on North Main Street, and a crowd of out-of-control people jumped on the hood of a cruiser and began throwing fireworks. Right now, it's unclear if this is the same group of vandals.
It's under investigations, but these things, they go from town to, it's not a Boston thing, it's a nationwide thing.
Police did arrest 2 individuals in the Boston incident, an 18-year-old and a 19-year-old, both from Rhode Island.
The outside individuals who came into our city to cause disorder and brought dangerous illegal behavior here will be prosecuted.
Police are asking anyone with cell phone video who may have witnessed this to please share that information with them. The 2 individuals will be arraigned in Roxbury District Court. The incident remains under investigation. In Boston, I'm Paul Burton, WBZ News.
So y'all listen, I know Boston's a great place to live. I know Boston is a lot safer than many big cities in the United States. So y'all, congratulations for that. But you have to put your people first. Some of these people who are arrested are innocent or not guilty. They would be found not guilty of whatever crime. right? But many of these people probably did it, let's be honest. But now they're being set free while the money's being diverted to help people who are in the country without permission fight to stay here. Somebody make it make sense. Now, in case you didn't catch the first report we did on this, to give you more background on the hundreds of people who have been let go at this time, just take a look at this so you get the full panorama and spectrum of what's happening in Massachusetts. 100 criminal cases have just been dismissed because the city does not have money to adequately pay public defenders. See, y'all, money is what we call fungible. What does that mean? That means that $1 equals $1. So when you spend $1 here, that's $1 that you don't have to spend over there. You see where I'm going? So you can't just say, oh, the budget is for this no, because you know what? If you have a need in the budget and you didn't spend that dollar over there, well, now you have that dollar free still to spend it over here. The state of Massachusetts is spending upwards of $1 billion per year right now to help people who are in this country without permission. Now they're having to let criminals go free because they cannot provide those people their constitutional rights. So first we're going to get into this story, y'all, and then we're going to flash back to a similar situation in Atlanta, Georgia, where it is even more egregious, where a public defender in the infamous YSL RICO trial said she was going to have to actually go to OnlyFans because she was being paid the equivalent of less than minimum wage. Let's just put it like that. She was being paid less than minimum wage and had to fight, kick, claw, and scream just to get a wage that's still far below what anybody would work on such a trial for. So y'all, this is a problem. Let's go ahead and hop into what's happening in Boston, where your girl Michelle Wu says she has her budget under control, but she can't even afford to pay for criminals to have representation.
I'm Bob Ward in Boston, where a real legal crisis is taking root. More than 100 criminal cases now dismissed as public defenders refuse to take on new cases in a dispute over money. At Boston Municipal Court in a special hearing, Chief Justice Tracy Lee Lyons dismisses more than 100 criminal cases. The action taken as public defenders' work stoppage in a dispute over wages takes a dramatic turn.
This case will be dismissed without prejudice.
I'm Bob Ward in Boston, where a real legal crisis is taking root. More than 100 criminal cases now dismissed as public defenders refuse to take on new cases in a dispute over money. At Boston Municipal Court in a special hearing, Chief Justice Tracy Lee Lyons dismisses more than 100 criminal cases. The action taken as public defenders' work stoppage in a dispute over wages takes a dramatic turn.
This case will be dismissed without prejudice.
This legal crisis began in May when court-appointed attorneys stopped taking on new cases, saying the state's $65 an hour rate is an unlivable wage. They say neighboring states pay their public defenders twice as much. An SJC justice ordered the release of any indigent defendant held longer than 7 days. And she ruled that all charges be dropped if any indigent defendant case is older than 45 days. At BMC, most of the charges dropped were for nonviolent crimes. However, several involved assaults on police officers, domestic violence assaults, and the use of dangerous weapons. In Fall River, Governor Healy called for lawmakers to act.
This is a matter of public safety, and so they've got to sort this out and resolve this.
Boston defense attorney Phil Tracy agrees that something has to change.
People are going to get hurt, wives, robberies are going to take place by guys who were already in jail, and now they're out.
In a statement, the Suffolk County DA's office said the case dismissals today, with many more expected in coming days and weeks, present a clear and continuing threat to public safety. We remain hopeful that a structural solution will be found to address the causal issues here and prevent any repeat. But right now, there is no deal on the table to raise the rate for public defenders. In Boston, I'm Bob Ward for your local station, Boston 25 News.
Now you might say, I don't care. I don't want criminals to have representation. Okay, well, if you're one of those people, then what you're saying is, in effect, that you just want them to go free because the United States Supreme Court has ruled that you have the right to an attorney. If the attorneys say, hey, this payment that you're giving me, I'm not working for that. And you say, well, we don't have any more money because, they're not going to say this, but we don't have any more money because we gave it to the people who are in the country without permission. Do you see where we're going? So all of these things have ramifications, repercussions, and ramifications. So that was the previous report on this from a couple of months ago now. It's still happening, y'all. People are still being set free. And as you can see, the safest big city in the whole world, in the universe, still has some crime. And it still has a need for public defenders, which are a constitutionally guaranteed right that you have if you cannot afford your own defense attorney. So y'all, I'd like for y'all to let me know, what do you think? I just gave you the proof. They're not paying the public defenders properly. People are being set free without even going to trial. Violence still does happen. We can see that. As a matter of fact, at the end of this video, I'm going to paste on a final report. Y'all, stick around if you want to see it. It's kind of crazy. But what do you think? Why are they providing money to people who are facing deportation when they can't provide the constitutional right, the constitutionally guaranteed right to criminal defendants in Boston? If you have the evidence, you can put them away. You know what I mean? You can take them off the street. Let me know what y'all think down in the comments, y'all. Before you do, please hit the share button. Share this video out over email, text message, WhatsApp, Facebook, Snapchat, Instagram, all of your favorite social media. I say favorite social mediums, and somebody in the comments said it's not social mediums, it's social media. Okay. I'm just having fun over here, people. I'm having fun. By the way, he put it's social medias. He was wrong because it's not medias. Media is already plural. And he put medias with an apostrophe S. So he was doubly wrong. But I appreciate you though, buddy, because you're watching the content. We're just having fun over here. All your favorite social mediums. And if you're not a subscriber, please do subscribe. Y'all, if you have a retirement, you want to protect it from the upsies, downsies, roundsies, and roundsies, click the link down below. It's the first link, Paralegold, PARALEGOLD.com. Speak to our partners at Augusta Precious Metals about protecting your retirement. You can also call them at 844-651-8334. Thank y'all for watching. Love y'all, and we'll see you back in the next one.
Tonight, the woman accused of pushing an older woman off an MBTA bus is behind bars. 32-year-old Liz Pineda is charged with assault and battery on a person over 60, causing injury. The 63-year-old victim caught on camera, landing on her face.
The victim went to the hospital, stated that she has no memory of the assault, has a concussion, a broken blood vessel in the neck and eye.
This happened on the 28 bus in Roxbury, near the suspect's home. The bus driver saying it was overcrowded and the suspect wanted to get off with her baby, but the victim was in her way. Cell phone video captures the rest. An argument ensues, culminating in the suspect shoving the other lady off. The suspect then getting off and walking away with her 3-month-old baby. Transit police sharing these photos, trying to identify her, but prosecutors say it was people in the comments of this widely circulated social media video who shared her identity.
That person was later identified again by 2 anonymous people, and then subsequently again by neighbors.
It's clear that from the description, even as read by the district attorney, that the woman who was preventing her and her child from exiting the bus.
Pineda's defense attorney says she was on her way back from a doctor's appointment for her baby. That baby's father in court threatening us after.
I say something else, they'll get hurt. This out, got my face.
Now, MBTA General Manager Phil Ng saying in a statement in part, quote, "The public deserves a safe transportation system, and I want them to know that this conduct will not be tolerated anywhere on our system." Live here in Roxbury this evening, I'm Peter Eliopoulos, WCVB News Center 5.